Story time of one of my weirdest experiences as a nail tech. The night before her appointment, I hit her up to make sure she's read over all my policies to make sure we have like a smooth appointment, right? Then she hits me up with can my boyfriend come with me? I was just like, no girl, like I'm sorry, I don't allow extra guests, which was also part of my policies. But then later on, she's like, okay, how about my mom? And I'm like, no girl, I'm sorry, like, you know? Anyways, it's the day of her appointment. She texts me, hey, I'm here. I'm like, perfect. I come outside. As soon as she walked in, I swear, I felt like kind of off from the start, but I was just like, okay, whatever. Like, so I'm just like pushing it off, trying to get everything started. But Shawty looked scared. Like, she looked kind of like on edge and nervous. So I asked her if she wanted some water, right? That day, I didn't have any more water in my little mini fridge in my nail room. So I just stepped out real quick to get a water bottle that was like up in my living room. And I see that she stands up behind me and tries to follow me. And I'm like, oh, like, could you just wait right here? I'll be right back. I walk back into my nail room and then I see that she like kind of like rushed over to the chair to sit back down. And I was like, like she was supposed to be sitting, but I just kept ignoring it because I was like, no, I'm just tripping today. Because I'm telling you, like, on long days, the monomer be getting to you. So I asked her what her inspo is, and this is what she wanted. So after she sent it to me through text, I went to go screenshot it, but I had my ringer on, so it made that little, like, screenshot noise, right? And I'm not gonna lie, my armrest at the time was really wobbly, so I was like, okay, like, it's whatever. But she made the whole armrest, like, flip over, and her head was almost, like, onto my side. And Shawty's like, what did you just take a picture of? And I'm like, I just screenshotted your inspo so I could zoom in. So from there is when I started to feel, like, kind of weird inside. But I always try to look at the good in people, so I let it go again. And I try to just talk about, like, school and where she's from. And she's coming from an hour away. So I had that in the back of my mind, like, damn, like, it's for prom. She's coming far. Like, I gotta do good, like, extra good, you know? And she just randomly asked me, like, oh, like, you have cameras outside? Because I have, like, a little, like, screen where I can see, like, when my clients are walking in. And I'm like, yeah. And she's like, oh, like, how many do you have? Like, where are they pointing? Like, who can see them? And I'm like, oh, girl. During this whole time, this girl was sniffing her nose, like, you know, like, constantly, to the point where I was, like, looking up, like, are you good? And, like, just constantly, like, jittering around on the chair, like, moving and moving and moving. And I understand it must be hard for clients to sit there for, like, 2 hours and stuff. But I'm like, Jesus, like, anyway, she asked me for more water. I come back into the room again. And she had gotten hella snacks from my little, like, snack cart. And I love when my clients go ahead and, like, feel themselves at home and stuff. But it was, like, I kid you not, like, 3 sodas and already the 2 waters I had given her and, like, chips. And I was like, dang, okay. But she tells me, like, oh, it's because I haven't taken my medication. And so I'm like, yeah, like, no problem. And now I'm, like, piling up ideas in my head because I, like, you know, you can't help it. Like, you have a whole stranger in your house and it's just one thing after another. So I'm kind of getting on edge myself. I get into my filing and tell me why she took the file out of my hand. I'm beyond flabbergasted because I've never thought that would happen to me before. Like, I've always seen memes about it, but I'm like, no way. As she's over here filing her nails herself, I'm thinking in my head how I can tell her that I don't feel comfortable continuing her service. But I also felt so bad because she drove an hour to see me and it was prom. So the good in me, I was like, no, like, I'll just suck it up. But later, I start doing the design and she's like, oh, like, how much longer? My boyfriend's asking, like, he's getting tired of waiting outside. And so I'm like, oh, like, around this much. And she's like, dang, okay. And then I'm like, almost done, and she asked me for more detailed designs that she wanted to add and this and that. I'm like, okay, I can do that, but it's gonna take you longer. And she told me she was fine with it, so I go ahead and continue on to the design that she wanted. Everything starts falling on the floor. That's when I start shaking. That's when I just start losing it. Like, I'm getting so anxious because I'm like, oh my god, like, I want her out and she also needs to be out because he's going crazy outside. But then she's like, oh, like, he really is getting really mad. Like, he's saying that he needs to come in here to make sure that everything is good. Like, he doesn't believe me, Like, he's really pissed outside. Like, he's saying that if I don't get out in a few minutes, like, he's gonna storm through your door. And I'm like, storm through my door? Like, what? Now I feel threatened. Now I'm scared. Why? Like, this is my house. Like, no one should ever feel like that in their home. Okay, now, long story short, it's time to pay. I asked her, like, how she wanted to pay, either with card or cash. And she's like, oh, like, I don't have either. And I'm like, okay, like, do you have Cash App? Hello? And she's like, no, like, I can download it, though. So I'm in my head, like, so how are you gonna pay? She's asking me if she could get the money from him outside. And I'm like, oh, baby, no. After, like, 15 minutes, she finally made the account. She sent me the money. I escorted her out, locked the doors. So, yeah, let me know what you guys think. What would you have done in my situation?
I literally just had to walk out of the nail salon. It was so bad. Let me start from the top. This is the first time I've attempted to get my nails done in my college town, not my hometown. So I was like, I'm just going to get simple acrylic. Because, you know, in my head, how can you mess up a simple, like, acrylic color? So I go in and I'm talking and she was like, okay, pick your color. So I'm picking it in like 30 seconds and she's like, do you got it? I was like, oh, no, I'm still looking. She's like, And walks off. I was like, oh. Sorry, it keeps connecting to my car. So we go sit down. She's filing my nails and it's burning. So I didn't say anything. Just my toes are curled in my shoes and my palms are sweating and I'm just... We get through the filing and I'm literally in pain, like sweating. I'm already uncomfortable. And then she brings out this bowl for my hands to soak in. This is the worst part. My hands are in the bowl. It's really, really hot. But I was like, okay, Charlie, quit being a wuss. All is well. And then she's like, she goes to switch it. Brings another bowl. She sets it down really fast. She's like, put your hands in the bag. Because there's a bag inside of the bowl. Put my hands in it. It is so hot. I literally but she turned around and walked off already. And she literally, my hands are in the bag. She threw a towel over it and walked off. I pull my hands out. I hear bubbling. So I was like, so I looked down. I'll show a video. I literally took a video because I was like, there's no way. She put my hands in boiling water. Well, she walks back 2 minutes later. I had taken the bag out and let it cool off a minute and then put my hands back in it. The acetone. And she was like, why are your hands out? It's it was just kind of hot. And she was like, no, put your hands back. And she grabs the bag, puts it in the bowl, grabs my hand and puts it in it. And I was like, I was like, I'm sorry, it's bubbling, it's boiling. And she was like, it won't get it off if it's not hot. And I go, I just want a removal, please. I said, can you just take this off and I'm gonna go. I'm so sorry. And she was like, yeah. She kept making little comments at me the whole time. She was just like, you shouldn't get acrylic. That's so bad for your nails. That's why your nails are so unhealthy. No, I'm not even mad. That just made me so uncomfortable and I'm literally shaking. I don't know why. The people pleaser in me wanted to be like, did I do something wrong? But that was just such a gnarly experience I had to share. So, here's my nails. I'm about to reward myself with Dunkin' after that experience.
Alrighty guys, this is going to be a story time when a client was banned from booking with me. I was about 18 and I had been doing nails for about a year now, and I was actually still living with my parents, so I was working from home. This was my first time booking this client, and she actually booked through Instagram. When she got here, she got off the passenger side and then the driver ended up getting off with her. When she gets to the door, she asked me if her boyfriend could come in as well. Mind you, I don't allow guests, and I had let her know beforehand. I proceed to tell her, I'm sorry, but there's not enough room and I don't allow guests. He then gave me the ugliest look and said, okay, I'm gonna wait for you out here. He goes back to his truck and she walks in with me. So 30 minutes have passed and I'm still on application. Then he starts honking outside and blowing up her phone. She answers him and says, I'm still doing my nails. And all I could hear is, hurry up, hurry up. My mom knocked on the door and said, hey, there's somebody honking outside like crazy. She's talking to him on the phone and I'm still doing her nails as fast as I can. He gets off and starts knocking on my door and asking to see her. My mom walks him into her room and says she's getting her nails done still. He says, how long is she gonna take? I told him I just had started 30 minutes ago. He sits down in the back of the room and just staring at us. So now it's me, my mom, him, and my client in the room. We're all just so uncomfortable and it's super awkward in there. 15 to 20 minutes later, he says, are you almost done? And I had just finished filing. No design or anything. It was literally just a nude color. Mind you, my client isn't saying anything at all. Okay, guys, I'm going to tell you the rest in part 2.
You're telling me that when you go to the nail salon and they mess up your nails, you don't speak up for yourself? No, girl, I don't. And I learned the hard way. Listen, in a rush, I needed to get my nails done. I found a salon, reviews were good. I was like, all right, let me just do a little walk-in. I had the most easiest, basic design that I'm like, there's no way anyone could really mess this up. Simple. Clean girl. Bro, judge me. Judge me, I paid for these. Judge me. I even left with open wounds, bro. Open wounds. And I really tried to gaslight myself into thinking they didn't look that bad until I sent it to my bestie and that was her response. When she said, oh my God, Alexia, that's really bad. I knew. I know. And am I still walking around with these jelly bean fingers? Yes. Like, babe, I got a vacation. Like, tomorrow. We just gonna have to go.
The time I got into a fight with a client and I lost. Actual physical altercation. All over a dog. And the lady was 50 years old. So, story time on that. So I had a client, 9 a.m. came, she had an appointment. She came to get her nails done. I'm doing her appointment. I'm an at-home nail tech. I'm doing her nails and then I get someone banging on the front door. So I go to open the front door and I'm like, hey, it's my neighbor. And my neighbor's like, Angela, like the lady that came inside of your house, she has a dog in the car and it's really hot outside. The dog is going to overheat. So I'm like, are you serious? I go upstairs and I'm going to name this client Miss Brenda. And I was like, Miss Brenda, you have a dog in the car? And she's just like, oh yes, I have the dog in the car because he's messing up my hardwood floor. And after I get my nails done, I'm taking him to go get his nails clipped down and he's going to get groomed. I said, oh, well, Miss Brenda, you can't leave the dog in the car. It's going to overheat. You have to take the dog out of the car. So me being the pushover that I am, she goes, well, what room can I put him in? Okay, he's going to come in here and mess up my hardwood floor. No, he can't come in here. So I have a leash. I can give you a leash. You can kind of like tie him up or whatever. And give him some water and that kind of thing. So she goes and she ties him up in my backyard. And while she's tying him up, I just go back upstairs to my appointment, like my room. And then she comes upstairs. Now, I don't know where she ties him up at. I just know that I gave her the leash. She went out back and she tied the dog up and she gave the dog a water bowl. That's all I know. I went back upstairs. She's getting her nails done. Now she's back upstairs. She's getting her nails done and she's on the phone. And one thing I've realized about Miss Renda is that she may be a drug dealer or she does something illegal. But I don't ask any questions because come get your nails done and that's all I want to do. That's it. So she's like arguing with her mom on the phone, like, no, like the way my dad parked the car this morning, it seemed like he trying to set me up. And I'm like, what the heck is this girl talking about? But she's screaming. I work from home. My kids are in the house sleeping. It's still early in the morning. It's summertime. So I'm like, can you keep your voice down, Miss Renda? And she was just and was like, Mom, I gotta go. And she hangs up on her mom. So I just stay quiet and I continue to do her nails and stuff like that. I did iterate to her like my kids are upstairs sleeping. So she hangs up on her mom and I'm still doing her nails and everything like that. And then she goes, do you mind if I go check on my dog? And in my head, I'm like, oh, you want to go check on your dog now? You wasn't checking on your dog when your dog was inside of the car dying. Okay. But yeah, go ahead, go check on your dog. So she goes downstairs. She goes to check on her dog. I don't know what had transpired. At that moment, I did not know what was going on. She comes up the stairs and she's flipping out. She's cursing, she's screaming, she's be this, be that, just going off. And as she's coming up the stairs, I get so nervous because she's yelling at me. I didn't know what else to do because she invaded like my personal space. I felt as if I had to hit her. Not that I would have wanted to, because when I tell you I know that Miss Renda lives a different life than me, I did not want to sit there and fight this lady. So I swang on her and I hit her. I think that was probably the worst mistake I ever made. Because next thing I know, we're fighting for so long. I don't know if I even got any punches in because I was just being dragged all through my room. I had acrylics on the walls. They were all gone. My back was hurting so bad. And there was nobody there to break the fight up. And I was trying to fight her like it was there was an invader in my house and I had to kill them because I knew my kids were there and I was losing. So it was very scary for me. At one point we stopped and was like breathing and she was still trying to attack me. And I'm like, I don't even want to do this anymore. You know what I mean? Like, my back hurts. Like, she hit me in the face a couple times. It was like a lot. I hear someone banging on the downstairs while we're like still like staring at each other and she's still trying to talk to me and stuff like that. And what confused me was how we stopped what we were doing and both went down the stairs amicably. We go down the stairs. I open the door. This is during COVID time. I say to the police officer, how can I help you? He was like, Oh, mind you, she came up the stairs because her dog was gone and she was pissed off. I forgot to put that in there. Her dog was gone. So being that her dog was gone, it was like she was mad. When I open a door and I'm talking to the police officer, I look across the street and I can see my neighbor with the dog in his hands. He had the freaking dog. Mind you, that means I just got beat up upstairs because my neighbor wanted to go into my yard and grab a damn dog. I tell the officer, I'm sorry, she just came in for a second. She drug dealer, she don't be snitching on nobody. She was like, oh, I'm sorry, I was just visiting my friend. She said she had COVID. I just came and dropped off a little bit of medicine. I gave her a little test, blah, 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 blah. She still got arrested. You know why she got arrested? You can't leave a dog inside of a car, but then you also can't leave a dog on like asphalt, like hard, like hot asphalt. So, and then when they looked up her name, I think she had a warrant for her arrest. I really didn't get into that because he kind of went off with her, but she got arrested. Mind you, she left her purse. She left the dog. My neighbor had the dog. And I never really understood like how or why I hit her. I did not mean to hit her. And then believe me, I didn't want to fight her at all. But she hits me up like 3 days later. And she's like, hey, I respect how you held yours. I understand like what happened, but I really need my nails finished. Ma'am, you just dragged me in my whole entire nail room. Like my nail room is ruined. My back hurts. My face is bruised. I have scratches all over my neck. No. And then I was just like, I'm sorry, you can't come back. I do have your purse. What is your address so I can send you your purse? She was like, oh, what are you trying to set me up? Blah, blah, blah. So needless to say, at the time, I had to have Edward go and drop off the purse to her at a Wawa because I wasn't going to meet up with her. I was petrified. But, like, I don't know how that transpired. I don't know how it got there. What I will say is just, like, doing nails, I never expected me to get into an altercation like that. But it humbled me really quick and just showed me that I really do pick and choose my battles, but this one was uncontrollable. And ever since then, I've been on a road to recovery when reacting, because that was the longest fight of my life. That was the most painful fight of my life. And more importantly, it was the scariest fight of my life. I don't know why I thought I was going to die. So, yeah, just figured I'd share my story time with y'all.
So this one time I went to the nail salon and I had the creepiest experience ever. The same place that I do like every month. And I walk in and my lady's like, oh, just, take a seat next to this guy. Because this guy was getting his like nails like cut and like, I don't know, he's getting a manicure. I'm not one to judge. So this guy's sitting down and I sit next to him because my lady says to sit down next to him. I'm like, okay. So this guy and I start talking and he's like 40 maybe, like 35 or something, like, I don't know. We're just talking about like what he does for work and like where he went to school and like all this like random stuff. But again, it's like a normal conversation. Keep talking and then I kind of like stop responding really. Like I'm like kind of done with the conversation. So anyways, flash forward 10 minutes. His nails are done. Like he just got like a clear coat or whatever, but he's done, right? And the lady's like, okay, you guys can switch seats now. So I switch into the seat where the lady's gonna do my nails and he goes to wash his hands. Right, washes his hands and then he comes back and just sits right down next to me. Just pops right in the chair that I was just in. So I'm sitting down and the lady's doing my nails. I'm not talking to this guy. Like at this point, I'm like kind of weirded out. So like we are not talking. Like there's no conversation going on. He's just sitting next to me kind of on his phone. And I'm like, okay, this is really weird. Guys, 30 minutes go by. Maybe even like 45 minutes. He's still there. He's still sitting next to me on his phone. He starts taking business calls. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So as the lady like gets done with my nails, I'm like, I cannot leave this building before this man leaves the building because like he's gonna follow me to my car or something. Like he's waiting for me to be done. So I was like, all right, I need to like say something, do something. Taylor, step up. Oh, I turn to him and I go, do you like taking business calls at nail salons? Like, is that something you do for fun or like, why are you still here? And he like looked really like
kind of surprised that I said something. He was like, I'm just waiting to pay. And the nail lady was like, oh no, like, come, you can pay right now. So he goes, he pays, and he leaves. And I'm like, that was really, like, odd. Once he leaves, all these women in the nail salon turn and look at me and they're like, wait, we thought that was your dad. Like, you don't know him? And I'm like, no. And, like, maybe he was just, like, a nice random guy, but, like, I was so scared. I was like, I'm gonna be on the next episode of Dateline. And that's it.
These are my nails, and this is my story. So, yeah, I booked an appointment last night at the same salon I've been going to for about 2-3 years, probably even longer than that. But, and I booked an appointment last night for 9 o'clock this morning. It's a $20 deposit every single time. So, yeah, it's a $20 deposit every time. So I paid that $20 deposit, and I go this morning. You get a text before your appointment the night before, just to kind of give you, reminders, and these are protocols, stuff like that. Something that was new was, I guess now they only do cash. They do cash only. I guess that started for 2025. I see that. Okay, fine. And I go and get cash in the morning. And I get to my appointment at 9:02. My appointment was at 9 o'clock. I, go up to the front desk, and she's like, you have an appointment? I say, yeah. And she says, your name? I say, Jasmine. She says, with who? I say, Jay. I've been going here for a very long time, and it's not that I expect them to just kind of like know and hug me and nothing like that. I don't expect none of that shit, but it just always feels like a weird vibe. Like they just don't. I always feel like a weirdness, but I look past it because I'm like, I need my nails done, and they do a good job. So I don't think nothing of it. But anyway, I go over there. She told me to go sit over there by Jay's station. I go sit. I start to wash my hands, and Jay is not there yet, but I do see her walking in as I'm washing my hands. Cool. I sit down, and then she comes sit down, and I was like, good morning. And she's like, what are we getting today? I'm just like, oh, okay. Okay. Let me get nude nails. Can you show me nude and red? Listen, again, I look past some things, because it's just like, we don't have to be buddies. I ain't got to be your buddy. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? We can sit here and not talk about nothing, and I'm cool with that. Just, just give me what I'm asking for, and you will get paid for it. That's just how, that's how it works, right? So I'm fine with that, whatever. But at the same time, I kind of feel just her energy was just kind of like, just real weird. And she's not typically all super bubbly or nothing, but she's not, it's different this time. So I'm like, anyway, so I look at the colors, I pick my color. I have my old nails on, so she has to take those off. And she takes my old nails off, and then she asked me what shape I want. And this always weird for some reason. Like, I always tell people, can I have skinny almond nails? Because I like the skinniness of a stiletto nail, and I like the tip to be rounded like an almond nail. I love stiletto nails, but I don't like to scratch. I do makeup for a living, so I don't like to scratch people. And so anyway, I just want skinny almond. Always skinny almond, skinny almond, skinny almond. And again, I go to this girl all the time. I go to her and another girl, 2 people at the same shop all the time. So this is nothing new. But she says fine. She says okay. Okay. So then she starts to shape and shit. She starts to shape my nail and all that, whatever. And she asked me, is that cool? She shows me like the shape and stuff. And then I look at it and I'm like, it's almost there. I didn't say that. I'm sorry. I just said, in my mind, I was like, it's almost there. I said, can you just make it a tad bit skinnier? And she was like, well, I can't make it skinnier. I can't make this skinnier. I'm like, well, okay.
because people always tell me, or the nail techs always tell me I have a wide nail bed, which is, I'm so totally aware of that. And what they always have to use these wider tips for me and stuff. And I was like, I was like, no, not this. I was like, just this part, because it was just a little wide. So I was like, can you skinny them, make them even skinnier? And then so she's like, okay. So she starts to shape them up more. She shapes them up and stuff. And so then I'm like, she's like, yeah, is that good? I say, yeah, like this is the skinny that I wanted. And so, sorry, I just blanked out. So this is the skinny that I wanted. And so then she starts to shape this one. And then I was like, I said, okay, I'm realizing like the tips are still kind of sharp. And I don't know, I don't do nails, so I was like, maybe she's gonna do that later or something. And so then I voiced that. I was like, are you gonna round out the tip a little bit later? And she was like, do you want stiletto or do you want almond? I was like, what the fuck? You know, I was just like that kind of attitude again. And I was like, what the fuck? So I was like, I want skinny and then before I can even get my sentence out, she's like, I want to find somebody else to do your nails. I said, oh my God, today. I was like, I just sit there kind of stunned. Like, I actually do not know what the fuck just happened. You know, I'm kind of like just stunned, you know, but I already feel myself like there is no way I'm sitting here another second, because I can feel the heat rising in my face, and I'm very reactionary. So I'm praying on that. I try not to just flip real quick, but I do sometimes. So anyway, I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna leave. And plus, she don't want me here. I don't want to be here. Don't worry about finding me nobody else, because I'm not about to sit in here with all this tension. It's weird. Y'all speaking another language, probably about me. I'm cool. So I'm like, yeah, let me just go ahead and get my stuff. I'm grabbing my stuff. And she was like, you can go over there. She's like, you can go over there. She's going to tell you who's going to do your nails. I was like, no, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, babe. I'm good. I'm good. And she's like, oh, and do not book with me anymore. And then that's when I was like, quickly, I was like, yeah, I didn't think. I was like, I'm not coming back to this motherfucker, bitch. And, yeah, I shouldn't have called her out of her name. I should have called her out of her name. But immediately, I was just like, I didn't had it. I didn't had it with her fucking attitude. And then I was just like, and for what? I didn't do anything to the girl. I didn't say anything rude to the girl. I just asked for a skinnier damn nail. And I mean, this is something I always go through. I always just be like, can I have them skinnier? Can I have them? Because that's what I like. I'm not gonna feel bad for what I like. And you're a service provider. I am paying you. You do not have to tolerate me being rude, but neither do I. And I was not being rude to her. So I was like, oh yeah, I'm finna get the fuck up out of here, me and my coin, and I'm gonna go ahead and leave, because you do not have to worry about me, and I'm good. So I'm leaving out. And she was like, oh no, you're gonna pay for your soak off, you're gonna pay for your services. I was like, I ain't paying for what? Paying for who? Paying for what? These are my nails. I got tips on my nails. That's it. And you gave me a soak off. You took off my nails. And then when come to think about it, babes, I paid a deposit, a $20 deposit that goes towards the service. Guess how much my soak off was? $20. You're paid in full. So you good. I'm done. I was like, I'm done. I'm leaving. And so I was like, I ain't paying for shit, you know? And then she goes to talk about, I'm calling the police. I'm calling 911. I'm calling them. I was like, go ahead and call them. At this point, I'm already in the car. And I'm like, I'm leaving, because I'm not waiting around for no damn police. I'm not waiting around for no police. And I knew that if I waited any more, this damn nail salon was going to be turned upside down. Because again, I'm just very reactionary. Like I'm trying to be able to communicate better, but in the heat of the moment, there's nothing for me to do but to destroy stuff. And so that's I was going to do something bad. It was not going to be a healthy ending at all. So that's why I had to go. And so yeah, that was my experience, my last experience with Ashley Nails. And those two nail techs, well, Max, you wasn't there, so I'm not even gonna, but Ashley Nails, it's a no-go, it's a fucking chop. And Jay, you got touched by an angel, girl. That is the nail tech. And yeah, I hope that y'all never have to experience what I've experienced today.
Why I don't accept clients under the age of 16. So there's been a few bad experiences that I've had, but for now I'm just gonna tell one story. So I had 2 new clients book me. I believe that they were like 15 years old, maybe 14. They booked the same time so they can come together back to back. For starters, they were about 30 minutes late because their school was on lockdown, which I know is out of their control, but if they weren't in high school, we wouldn't have that problem. I told them that it was fine because they were coming together, so I had the extra time. They get to the appointment and one of the girls' dad walks them to the door because he wants to meet me, which is totally understandable because I was working from home. The dad asked me how long it's going to take. I let him know it's going to be about 2 to 3 hours for the both of them to be finished. He says, absolutely not, that's way too long. Why is it going to take 3 hours for them to just get their nails done? They were both getting full sets of acrylic with French and rhinestones and everything you can imagine. And I was still pretty new at doing nails, so I wasn't as fast as I am now. I explained to him that it's going to take at least an hour, hour and a half for each of them. He says it's fine and they come and sit for their appointment. Now, although he said it was okay, throughout the appointment he was texting his daughter asking how much longer, it's been an hour, da-da-da-da-da. So every couple of minutes, the girl was asking me when I'm going to be done. I felt extremely rushed and it was stressing me out. And on top of that, because they came together, they were fighting over the phone. I don't even remember what they were fighting about, but they were literally fighting. Saying, give me my phone back. Oh my God, stop. And the one girl, when she was getting her nails done, was constantly moving, which made it impossible for me to do her nails. And no matter how many times I told her that she had to sit still, they continued to fight over the phone. This was extremely annoying because I was already stressed out trying to finish in time without her not sitting still, and then her constantly moving and me having to redo her design did not help. But I eventually was able to finish the first girl and I moved on to the second set. 30 minutes into the second girl's set, the dad shows up and the girl lets me know that the dad is outside and asks again how long it's going to be. I let her know it's going to be at least another hour. The girl's dad is calling and calling nonstop. Eventually, I finished the set and it comes time for them to pay. I had given them prices prior to their appointment, so they should have known how much cash to bring. But the girl tells me that her dad only gave her $40. And the other girl also only had $40 on her. I told the girl to maybe ask her dad if he has the other cash in the car with him, but he didn't. So I just accepted the $40 because I wanted it to be over. After this, I stopped accepting clients under the age of 16 unless they were a family or friend.
So let me tell you guys why I had to ban one of my clients, and this is not recent, it happened over a year ago. Keep in mind, I have a camera in the nail room, which is not hidden, it's out in the open where everyone can see it, and my boyfriend and I live together, so we're both able to log into the Wise app. So this was a new client. She came in for her appointment, everything was good, I didn't feel no weird vibes at all. So we get to the part where she has to go to the bathroom to wash her hands. I walk her to the bathroom and then I come back into the room to clean everything up. So after she comes back from the bathroom, I then go into the bathroom to wash my hands. After I come back from the bathroom, I then go on my phone to look for the inspo pic, and I saw that my boyfriend has sent me a message saying, what does she put in her bag? I don't remember exactly what I replied back, but I think I said, what do you mean? But we didn't have a back and forth conversation because I was still in the middle of doing my client's nails. This client was really sweet, so honestly, I really had no idea what my boyfriend was even talking about, so that's why I kind of ignored it and didn't really think much of it. So we usually had the sensitivity to the camera in the nail room on low, just because I was in here all day long, and any little movement the camera would pick it up and then notify the phone, and it was just really annoying, so that's why we always had the sensitivity on low. So my boyfriend has said that while I was in the bathroom, he started to get a bunch of notifications that there was movement in the nail room, which was weird, again, because the sensitivity was low. So somebody had to been like moving a lot for the camera to pick it up and notify us. Because of all the notifications that was coming from the nail room, that's why my boyfriend decided to go into the app and see what was going on. In the video, you can see that she's waiting for me to go into the bathroom to basically move around and like touch anything. Her entire like body language was very, very suspicious. I had loyalty cards on my desk. As soon as she heard the bathroom door close, she quickly grabbed the loyalty card and put it in her bag. But she grabbed it in a way where it looked like she didn't want me to see her grabbing a loyalty card, which didn't make any sense to me because it was on the side where my client sits, right in front of them. So I don't know why she made it look so suspicious. So because she grabbed the loyalty card so fast, it looked extremely suspicious. So that's why my boyfriend had texted me saying, what did she put in her bag? I couldn't even tell either what it was that she put in her bag until I watched the video like 5 times, just because she did it so quick and just so suspicious. So this is where it gets really weird. After she takes the loyalty card, she starts snooping around my desk, which to this day I have no idea what it was that she was looking for because she didn't take anything else other than a loyalty card. After I seen the videos, I didn't say anything to her or ask her about it just because I wasn't sure if she was gonna book again. But guess what? She ended up booking again like about a month later. And honestly, guys, don't even ask me why I took her again because I really don't know. I just didn't know how to go about declining her appointment because she was just so nice. But because of what happened last time she was here, I already knew I kind of had to be watching the cameras when I step out the room to wash my hands, even though I really didn't think anything was going to happen. So after the appointment, I start going over the cameras just to check and see if anything happened while I was in the bathroom. She did the same thing where she was watching me go into the bathroom and waiting for the door to close to move around. As soon as she heard the door close, she started snooping around my desk again. I don't keep my monomer in arm's reach of my client, and she ended up taking my monomer and literally sniffing it, guys. Like, she didn't just like smell it. No, she inhaled the monomer. So I guess she was trying to get high or something. Like, I literally have no idea because if I were to inhale the monomer the way she did, I would literally be passed out on the floor. So yeah, after that, I was like, yeah, no, I can't have this girl back in my home because now she's actually touching my shit and she's inhaling the monomer like a damn crackhead and she's concerning me. I didn't say all that to her, but I did send her the footage and I did tell her that I was not going to be servicing her anymore just because I felt very uncomfortable that she was snooping around my desk and touching my stuff. Her response didn't really make any sense. She basically said that she was just being cautious of her surroundings, which I'm not sure how you inhaling monomer for 10 seconds is being cautious of your surroundings. I mean, if anything, girl, you're probably going to start hallucinating or something. But anyway, guys, this is your sign to always have a camera in your room whenever you're servicing people because you just never know.
Today, we're going to talk about the first and only client that I ever had to give the boot. She was an older lady. I was very respectful. She was cool. When she came in, I introduced myself. She introduced herself. We got to it. I asked her what she wanted. She showed me there was some short, square, white nails with diamonds on top. I said, okay, we can do that. Now, at this point, I'm still a beginner, so I'm not charging that much. So I did it for $55. Red flag number 1 was when she said, ooh, that's a little too much. So I get the acrylic all laid and all of that. She said she loved the shape. It was all good, blah, 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 blah. She pulls out this bag, and it's a bag of diamonds. She said, use these so it could be cheaper. In my head, I'm like, girl, cheaper? What do you mean? It's only $55. So I look at her, I say, no, I want to use the stones that I use because I just know how that'll look, and blah, blah, blah. So me being a pushover and a newbie trying to please a client, I use her stones, but I still charge her $55 because that's not how that works. So she like, I love him, blah, blah, blah. But turns out she went to work and started talking about me because she works with my mama. So here's where I messed up. I let her book again. And when she booked again, she came in. I'm like, okay, I'm going to look past all that extra stuff. So I started doing her nails. She said she wanted how she had them last time. So I do it and I shape them. She watched me shape the whole set. She look and she say, this not how I had them last time. I had squoval nails. I'm like, squoval? Girl, you know I didn't do no squoval now. I don't do squoval. She's like, yes, I want a squoval. So I do her little squoval. So my mama walk in and she like, oh, you getting something different done to your nails this time? And she like, no, I don't know what y'all talking about. This is how I got them done the last time. And I just look at my mama and I'm like, you know what? Okay. So she like, put some more diamonds on them because I didn't like the way you had them on there last time. And I'm like, okay, ma'am. So I put some more on there. Mind y'all, this is only $35. She looking, she like, I need more diamonds for how much I'm paying. So we get to the end of the appointment. She pay. Y'all, why she throw $1 at me and go, here, this your tip. After that, she never booked again. Thank God.
Like, what do you mean? Y'all, I am so frustrated right now. I'm a nail tech. It's a few days before Christmas. It's super freaking busy, the holiday rush right now. So a few days ago, my man went to Houston and I was obviously invited, but I'm a businesswoman before all else and I politely declined because I had a weekend full of clients, not a weekend, a day full of clients before I took my little holiday break. Why did all my clients cancel? You know, I was trying to like not cancel on anyone. Like, no, I'm not gonna go. I already, you know, I don't want to cancel on anyone right before Christmas. Like, I'm not gonna be that nail tech. Why did all 3 of my clients today cancel? I could have been in Houston. Like, and it's not like it was like a few days in advance. Like the day before, like, oh, no, baby. Like, where are you, girl? It's your appointment time and you're still not here. Canceled. And that never happens to me. Like, literally, I'm so blessed with literally the best clients, and that never happens to me. But, I mean, I don't know what's in the air right now, but that's a little freaking crazy. And, wow. I mean, what do you gain from this? Because, like, in the future, it's like, I don't want to be that nail tech that cancels. Like, hey, like, something came up. Let's reschedule. But also, like, damn. I guess you win some, you lose some for real.
We're normalized walking out of nail shops.
Oh, that's no. In the sense that no.
And I don't mean the cute little IG artists that really just do their thing and have so much talent. I mean the chop shops that just sit there and waste their time. I waited 30 minutes to an hour just to get my acrylics taken off. And by the time that I did, I was so pissed off and just irritated that I was like, maybe I should, you know, grow some balls and actually leave. It seems like this is a regular occurrence at this nail shop because everybody was just sitting there just waiting around just for somebody to come. And when I finally sat down in who I think is the owner's chair, she kept going back and forth between me and somebody else. And when I told her, hey, I got somewhere to go, can you please, like, how long is this gonna take? She started ripping my nails off, and I'm just sitting here like laughing, like, okay, like, can someone help me? Like, can we stop? Like, I'm used to getting my nails taken off, so I know it's not supposed to hurt this much, but I just need to get out of there. So as you can see, I was very, very irritated. Literally, my nails were like so thick, so I understand it was a little bit harder for her, but there's no reason why I should be waiting that long just for you to do a really cheap and fast job. It's just so rough. So this is to show that it's okay to stand up for yourself.
Nail time horror story. I don't care. I'm gonna be that girl because these are my birthday nails and this just hits different. I have come to this place and my family has come to this place. We've never had any issues. Let me show you some reference pictures. This is the reference picture I originally showed her. I like the lightness in the pink and I like the lightness in the chrome. She wasn't understanding that I wanted the chrome over the whole nail and not just on the French tip. So I showed her this picture just to show that I wanted the chrome over the whole nail. I promise you I told this girl to fix it at least 20 times because she could not get the French tip right. She didn't know how to do the French tip on the almond shape, so she called for backup because finally she was getting so frustrated. She was having some sort of miscommunication because here in the Valley, she was speaking Spanish, but here in the Valley, everyone knows, depending on where you're from, there's different types of Spanishes. So our Spanishes, I guess, weren't understanding each other. Okay, we were getting somewhere with this. This was like, I promise you, after the 20th attempt. Anyways, at that point, the other girl stepped in and she was like, let me take over. So the girl came in and emphasis on the fact that the original girl had picked out my chrome originally. She was like, this one looks more similar to the picture. And she also picked out my color because she was like, the color's going to get lighter once you put the chrome on it. But turns out it got darker and everything got darker. The chrome that she chose ended up being silver and the color that she chose ended up being even darker. Because the reason I trusted her was I was like, you know more than me. I was like, this is what I want. She's like, but the color's going to change, whatever, once I actually put it on the nail. So I was like, okay, I'm trusting you. I'm literally trusting you. New girl came and she was fixing my nail. She was starting all over and she ended up like fixing the shape and everything because the girl, like, I guess originally butchered it. So she fixed my nails and then she started shaping them again. She did everything, like basically the whole process again. Mind you, I have class at 2. So I was already like in a gap period because I had class in
everything else from 8 a.m. to 9:15. After that, I got home, I took care of my dog, and I came straight here. Like, I was here. So the new girl, was just kind of like, oh, like, helping me out, whatever. She's like, this is the good, this is the good. Well, then we did both hands, and then tell me why this hand looked different than this hand. So I was like, like, they're not even. Like, the French is not even. So I politely asked her, can we match French, like, the width of the French? I wanted them to match. So, like, mind you, I'm mad right now, but, like, in the time, I was being way nicer and way more calm and patient. Anyway, she ended up fixing it because she literally saw her flaws. And so I was the one to call her out because, hello, like, I'm paying for this crap. And so at the end of the day, I ended up paying for it. Look, they're darker, they're silver, like, they could be way worse. But I feel like the silver takes away from the fact that you can't even tell that they're French anymore. Like, they could be a totally butchered French and you really can't tell from a distance. They just look silver with, like, a little bit of French. And guess how much these were? $85. $85, and I was on the verge of a mental breakdown for X amount of hours that I was there. That's my horror story. I also completely forgot to mention, she kept saying it was my fault because my freaking fingers are tweckle. How rude!
Okay, I wasn't gonna speak on this, but now I feel like so much has happened that I need to say something. I went to a nail salon 3 days ago at this point. It was a new nail salon that I had never been to. My friend had been there one time before, and I'm open to trying new nail salons because every nail salon I go to ends up sucking. Like, I act fine while I'm in there, and then I go to my car and I cry because I hate whatever with my nails. Like, no one knows how to do nails right these days for some reason. So we walk in, immediately there's 2 slushy machines. The guy at the front is like, oh, do you want this rum, like, slushy? I am 20 years old. I am not 21, and he did not ask for ID or nothing. Like, if I could have asked for that drink, I would have gotten it, and that was my first red flag. Like, they really do not care at this place. My friend got one because she's 23, but I'm not trying to mess around with that stuff. Like, no. So they both start, we both are sitting next to each other. The lady that's doing my nails comes over. She's like, hey, is it fine if I clip your nails down? Because I had, like, tips on. I'm like, yeah, that's fine. If you've ever been to a nail salon before, you know the proper way to cut down a long nail is to go corner, corner, and then the nail comes off. She immediately started going in the middle of every single nail. I just feel like if you work at a nail salon, you should know that cutting the middle of someone's long nail hurts them. I made it known, like, I was in a little bit of pain. I would say, like, ow, or I'd pull my hand away a little bit. Like, every nail, I was literally just like this. Like, I don't want to make a scene, but it's like, it hurts. So that was the first red flag with the lady that I was dealing with. Then she's like, okay, I'm gonna take your nails off now. I look across the room, there's girls, like, getting her nails soaked off. So I'm like, okay, bet, like, let's take my nails off. Before I even know what's happening, she has 3 of my nails on the ground. She took a fake nail tip and she's sliding it under my old nails to get them off instead of soaking them off, which, if you didn't know that, that's really bad for your natural nail beds. Like, it's damaging to your nails, which if I wanted to do that at home, I would have already come with no nails on. Like, that's not how you're supposed to take your nails off properly. For y'all to be like an actual nail salon doing this, it seems a little unprofessional. I should have left right then and there, let me tell you. But anyways, she gets to my 7th nail, this nail to be exact, my finger. She slides it off. My nail doesn't pop off like the rest of them had been, so she pushes the nail through with, like, force. Like, there was force there because my real nail came up. Part of my real nail came off with that fake nail, and my nail started gushing blood, obviously. So she doesn't even address what just happened. She doesn't say sorry. She's not empathetic at all. She gets up, grabs a paper towel, comes back, and just, like, goes like this, like, puts pressure on it. And she just sits there for a couple minutes. I, being me, I should have said something, but I am so, like, I feel guilty for some reason. Like, it's my fault that my nail started bleeding. So I'm trying to literally choke back tears. We're sitting here like this. My friend is sitting on this side and my nail's on this side. And she looks over. She can see the blood on the paper towels. And she's like, oh my God, are you okay? I'm like, yeah, that's fine. The manager's walking back and forth. I'm trying to really not draw any attention to her. Like, I don't want to embarrass her for some reason. I don't know. Like, mistakes happen. But it's like, you definitely could have been more gentle in that situation. Continue. She starts putting the tips on my nails, okay? Oh my God. She does my bad nail first, like the one that had, like, my real nail come up that was just bleeding 5 seconds ago. She puts the nail tip on and then puts glue right on top, right inside of that open wound that she just caused on my finger. When I tell you guys, she also took alcohol pad and rubbed it over. Oh my God, it burned so bad. Why would you do that? Like, I get you need to clean it, but then going immediately and putting glue in that, and it was at the top of my nail. And, like, you could have put the tip a little lower or, like, done something else. I feel like there was other ways to go about that where, like, you did not need to put nail glue in my open wound, you know? So at this point, I'm literally just, like, sitting here, like, I am trying to not cry. There's tears in my eyes. I can feel it. If someone speaks to me, I'm going to start bawling my eyes out. We get through the rest of the appointment. She does the nails. I love how the nails turned out. Like, they were really cute. Like, the shape was right. She did everything else correct. Then we leave. Of course, I tip. I act like everything's fine. I never bring it up to the manager because I just never do that. I get in my car. Honestly, I'm in a better mood because I like my nails. I like how they turn out. Whatever. I got hurt in the process. Beauty's pain, you know? I get over it. Now been 3 days. And 2 of my nails have fallen off. My nails are still connected to my cuticles. Like, there's been no grow out at all. It has not even been a week. This one was yesterday and this one was today. Putting my Air Force Ones on. I have had Air Force Ones for years. I've been getting my nails done for years. Never in my life has my nail popped off from sliding my Air Force One, like the back of my heel, sliding it on. Why did that happen? And then it happened again today. Never has that happened to me. I'm like, what are y'all using? Like, how is this not sturdy enough that I can slide shoes on? Like, this is crazy. I should go inside right now. I'm actually in the parking lot right now. It's behind me. I'm gonna go see if they'll fix my nails. They better not charge me because I'm feeling a little sassier today. I'm not gonna lie, but let's go get my nails fixed. Okay, nails are fixed. I don't know why it took an hour and a half to fix 2 nails, but it's done now.
Story time of one of my weirdest experiences as a nail tech. The night before her appointment, I hit her up to make sure she's read over all my policies to make sure we have like a smooth appointment, right? Then she hits me up with can my boyfriend come with me? I was just like, no girl, like I'm sorry, I don't allow extra guests, which was also part of my policies. But then later on, she's like, okay, how about my mom? And I'm like, no girl, I'm sorry, like, you know? Anyways, it's the day of her appointment. She texts me, hey, I'm here. I'm like, perfect. I come outside. As soon as she walked in, I swear, I felt like kind of off from the start, but I was just like, okay, whatever. Like, so I'm just like pushing it off, trying to get everything started. But Shawty looked scared. Like, she looked kind of like on edge and nervous. So I asked her if she wanted some water, right? That day, I didn't have any more water in my little mini fridge in my nail room. So I just stepped out real quick to get a water bottle that was like up in my living room. And I see that she stands up behind me and tries to follow me. And I'm like, oh, like, could you just wait right here? I'll be right back. I walk back into my nail room and then I see that she like kind of like rushed over to the chair to sit back down. And I was like, like she was supposed to be sitting, but I just kept ignoring it because I was like, no, I'm just tripping today. Because I'm telling you, like, on long days, the monomer be getting to you. So I asked her what her inspo is, and this is what she wanted. So after she sent it to me through text, I went to go screenshot it, but I had my ringer on, so it made that little, like, screenshot noise, right? And I'm not gonna lie, my armrest at the time was really wobbly, so I was like, okay, like, it's whatever. But she made the whole armrest, like, flip over, and her head was almost, like, onto my side. And Shawty's like, what did you just take a picture of? And I'm like, I just screenshotted your inspo so I could zoom in. So from there is when I started to feel, like, kind of weird inside. But I always try to look at the good in people, so I let it go again. And I try to just talk about, like, school and where she's from. And she's coming from an hour away. So I had that in the back of my mind, like, damn, like, it's for prom. She's coming far. Like, I gotta do good, like, extra good, you know? And she just randomly asked me, like, oh, like, you have cameras outside? Because I have, like, a little, like, screen where I can see, like, when my clients are walking in. And I'm like, yeah. And she's like, oh, like, how many do you have? Like, where are they pointing? Like, who can see them? And I'm like, oh, girl. During this whole time, this girl was sniffing her nose, like, you know, like, constantly, to the point where I was, like, looking up, like, are you good? And, like, just constantly, like, jittering around on the chair, like, moving and moving and moving. And I understand it must be hard for clients to sit there for, like, 2 hours and stuff. But I'm like, Jesus, like, anyway, she asked me for more water. I come back into the room again. And she had gotten hella snacks from my little, like, snack cart. And I love when my clients go ahead and, like, feel themselves at home and stuff. But it was, like, I kid you not, like, 3 sodas and already the 2 waters I had given her and, like, chips and chips and chips. And I was like, dang, okay. But she tells me, like, oh, it's because I haven't taken my medication. And so I'm like, yeah, like, no problem. And now I'm, like, piling up ideas in my head because I, like, you know, you can't help it. Like, you have a whole stranger in your house and it's just one thing after another. So I'm kind of getting on edge myself. I get into my filing and tell me why she took the file out of my hand. I'm beyond flabbergasted because I've never thought that would happen to me before. Like, I've always seen memes about it, but I'm like, no way. As she's over here filing her nails herself, I'm thinking in my head how I can tell her that I don't feel comfortable continuing her service. But I also felt so bad because she drove an hour to see me and it was prom. So the good in me, I was like, no, like, I'll just suck it up. But later, I start doing the design and she's like, oh, like, how much longer? My boyfriend's asking, like, he's getting tired of waiting outside. And so I'm like, oh, like, around this much. And she's like, dang, okay. And then I'm like, almost done, and she asked me for more detailed designs that she wanted to add and this and that. I'm like, okay, I can do that, but it's gonna take you longer. And she told me she was fine with it, so I go ahead and continue on to the design that she wanted. Everything starts falling on the floor. That's when I start shaking. That's when I just start losing it. Like, I'm getting so anxious because I'm like, oh my god, like, I want her out and she also needs to be out because he's going crazy outside. But then she's like, oh, like, he really is getting really mad. Like, he's saying that he needs to come in here to make sure that everything is good. Like, he doesn't believe me, da, da, da. Like, he's really pissed outside. Like, he's saying that if I don't get out in a few minutes, like, he's going to storm through your door. And I'm like, storm through my door? Like, what? Now I feel threatened. And now I'm scared. Why? Like, this is my house. Like, no one should ever feel like that in their home. Okay, now, long story short, it's time to pay. I asked her, like, how she wanted to pay, either with card or cash. And she's like, oh, like, I don't have either. And I'm like, okay, like, do you have Cash App? Hello? And she's like, no, like, I can download it, though. So I'm in my head, like, so how are you gonna pay? She's asking me if she could get the money from him outside. And I'm like, ooh, baby, no. After, like, 15 minutes, she finally made the account. She sent me the money. I escorted her out, locked the doors. So, yeah, let me know what you guys think. What would you have done in my situation?
Ignore my wretched fake tan I'm trying to scrub off right now because y'all about to see. You're about to see it. I usually would not do this, but my ears are hot. I feel my blood pressure, like, my neck is hot. I'm pissed. Backstory, I've been coming to this nail salon for years. I tip well. Literally, me and the guy that usually does my nails, he plugs my phone up for me and charges my phone while I get my nails done. And we joke and laugh the whole time. Keep that in mind. Like, I have been a great customer. I go in and say I want a toenail polish change and I need a refill. I had pretty long square nails. I did not say I wanted to cut down. I said I want you to shape them into a pointy almond. Whatever technical term for that, I don't know, and I showed her the picture. And she's done my nails so many times, I trusted her. Well, she has this hand right here, and I'm scrolling through Facebook. Not thinking anything of it, because I just showed her exactly what I freaking wanted. I look over, and this lady has filed my nail down to where I ain't never had my nails that short in my life. I don't even know what she was going to paint. And I just sit there, and I look at the 3 nails she's done filed down, and I'm like, she's like, what? You wanted to cut down? I said, no, I wanted you to shape them into a pointy almond shape. And I sit there, and I just stare at them, and I look at her, and I look at my nails, and I'm like, just take them off. She's like, that's what you want? I said, no, that's not what I wanted. I've never gotten that here. Not one time. And then she, instead of soaking them off, I told her to just take them off. Instead of soaking them off, she got a damn acrylic tip and just went at my nails. I mean, they are horrible. I'm scared to even go get them redone because I feel like my meat is about to come through my fingernails. And I'm like, okay, I said I'm not getting a full set because she spent an hour getting these nails off. An hour. And today was the only day I had to come get my nails done. I have something very important this weekend. I'm like, whatever. Get up to pay. I get up there to pay. And I already knew I was about to lose my shit. She said $55. I said, for what? Just like that, with my brow. For what? And the man that usually does my nails is he sits like really close to where you check out. Keep that in mind. I said, can you do a breakdown? She's like, well, your polish change for your toenails was $25. Okay. Yeah, I always pay that. Your cut down. I said, I didn't want a cut down. Maybe I shouldn't have got loud with them, but they deserved it. Your cut down and your soak off. I said, you messed my nails up. We had no other choice. This is when the man comes in. I say, God, just leave this place. Just leave. He hollered at me loud in front of this whole nail salon. And he said, she didn't mess up. That's what you asked for. I said, no, it was not. She messed my nails up. I didn't want my nails short. I didn't want to cut down. I feel like I'm being so dramatic right now, but I'm fucking pissed. I said, just run my card. Just run my card. She slapped the little clipboard with the receipt, and I just marked on it. Bitch. And the other ladies getting their nails done are just watching all this foolery. And I don't know what it meant to them. They don't care. But I was like, I will not be back here. I said, y'all are rude as hell. And the difference between the hair industry and the nail industry, not individual nail artist places like this. No customer service. If somebody didn't like their hair, I would stay till freaking 2 o'clock in the morning until they liked their hair. If it was my mess up. Even if it wasn't my mess up, I'd still fix it. So I guess I'm about to go to Walmart, buy me some press-ons. Because I don't have no time to get my nails done for the rest of the week. I almost started to cry. I cry when I get mad, but I almost started to cry because I do not feel like myself right now whatsoever. I'm going through something horrible and I just wanted to feel like myself. Okay, I'm calling to the bank to dispute this because I paid for something I did not get. So, and maybe that's not true, but I'm still going to try. I'm like, when their money don't go to the bank. Y'all have a blessed day. I'm dramatic, but, and I'm about to go on Facebook and blast their asses. I know a lot more people in this town than y'all do.